Are we good now? That took forever. I don't really understand why it just decided not to want to load today. It just decided eventually, yeah. Like I was looking at my CPU and it was working. It was only using like 30% of my CPU to load, but it was still working on something. As long as the CPU is still doing something, eventually it'll get through. It's just a matter of how long. Usually, anyway. Okay. As long as it's not going to be incredibly laggy. I'll be back for these people in a minute. It's weird though that it was just taking forever to load the main menu. Loading the game and stuff, no problem. Although I say that, now it's taking a while to load the game. It loaded the restaurant, no problem. Even my OBS is having issues today. It was giving me an error that it couldn't find the Twitch channel, so I just clicked start streaming and it seemed to find it just fine. Here we go. Oh, that was long. Doesn't bode well.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
No. I need to exchange this novelty check for cash. This giant novelty check here.
Wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir.
I don't, but who doesn't want a giant novelty check? Not that I'm against the union. More power to the unions.
Anything else I can do for you?
No, you don't work for the union. The union works for you by supplying you with cash. Blow the whole thing on speed and gin right now. Speed and gin. Great combo. Ask some local dealers, maybe.
Speed and gin. Well, we can go for speed, but I still got speed. I'm good for speed.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says your bottles clunk into the machine and the money appears.
$1.90. I feel like Harry is going to become destitute at the end of this. the Heart Trip. In Elden Ring, have you encountered any bosses that you absolutely hate?
Can I help you? Got the 20 real?
Here's 20 real.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Yes, I know how this works by now. Thanks. So today's a big day in the world of Disco Elysium. It's Wednesday. I don't remember where it says that, but it's Wednesday today. Yeah, yesterday was Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. I asked if you found any bosses that you really hate. Because earlier today, I fought the worst designed boss ever. I was so frustrated. You probably won't have an issue because you're doing spells and stuff, but I'm a melee character, like pure melee. I do the weapon arts, and that's it. I don't have ranged. And this is a boss that's a mage, and it'll start casting a spell, and it can teleport while it's casting the spell, and you can't get close to it. It teleports away. So if you're a melee character, you can't get close to it to hit it. It was so frustrating. It sounds like a me problem, yeah. But that's also bad game design. I hate it because it's bad game design. No, it was actually inside a tower thing. So you couldn't have torrent. I actually like fighting on torrent. I like doing the quote unquote horseback. You know, torrent's not a horse. You know what? I want to go talk to Lizzie because I know her name. No, this wasn't one of them. You don't have a lot of space in there, so.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Hey, Lizzie. Elizabeth? Miss Beaufort?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes, in the way she stands, in her face.
Easy Leo told me about you. He likes to talk a lot.
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel. You are here to question these men.
The boss was... Something Miriam. Started with a C. It was a word like confessor or something like that, but it wasn't that. It's not really... oh yeah, preceptor. Not a C. Very much not a C. I thought it was a C. Preceptor Miriam. It wasn't a boss, because it didn't have like the big boss health bar at the bottom, but it was like an NPC thing. If you're a ranged character, that fight would be so easy. If you're a melee character, that fight's a nightmare. It's the worst. I only have 25 vigor. It's not that much. No, I learned how to cheese run about my 6th attempt. 6th, 7th attempt. Something like that. I learned that I can shoot her with a bow. When she teleports up to the very top floor, I can shoot her with a bow from the elevator room. And my bow damage sucks. It was like minuscule, but I made blood arrows, so I do massive chunks every once in a while. And she doesn't move. She just stands there and takes it. So I cheated. But it didn't feel bad. The way I play the game, I don't have range. The samurai starts with a longbow, though I just haven't used it. Ever. Because why would I use a bow? The Dark Souls game. Dark Souls-esque game. Is there a time that this thing was supposed to open, or can I just go do it? How you doing, boys? Oh, good work.
A rusting control panel with loose wire. You grab the handle and pull the lever up. As soon as the metal connects against the contact pins, you hear a loud clunk. Then, the water lock starts moving.
Oh my god. That's so slow. I feel like that wouldn't be a very effective water lock if you have a gap, a vertical line gap. That wouldn't be watertight. It should be something that goes like up and down. Whatever.
Okay, if we ever need to get to the coast, then this is the way. But please, contain your wanderlust for now. I don't want us to get sidetracked, not with everything that's going on.
Focus
No, we got a
on
mission
one
here.
thing, achieve it, then the next, he thinks. That's the task chain.
We're doing things the speed way. Ooh, bubble. Radio relays hums. Radio relay hums with electricity. Ooh, money. I gotta make sure I don't play this too late today. No entry. Someone scribbled an inverted star on it. Traffic beyond the gate. More abandoned motor lorries. The inverted star was communism. That's locked. The car went off here. It looks like it went through this tree. Somehow. Someone has broken down the fence and the barbed wire. Ooh, coins. The swing is missing. No one's been here for a long time.
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton of the small house behind you. There's desolation everywhere.
What happened here?
In this yard?
The lieutenant looks at the small building. A flock of gray swallows takes off in the distance.
He's assessing the situation. How long ago was it abandoned?
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscure for cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago.
Yeah, what is the block obscure?
A black bloc, a part of the city left unrenovated after the war, or one that has fallen to gang violence, or has become inhospitable in some other way.
On aerial photos, block obscures look like dark squares, hence their name.
Oh, I see. It's not some racist thing calling it a black block. It's just literally the color of the block. Gotcha. So what's this part of the coast is a block obscure.
Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drums. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house.
Maybe they left something useful behind, like that change I saw back there.
Yes, for you to scavenge like a post-apocalyptic scavenger who collects trash and errant magnesium blisters.
Kim, this is going to be a long
It's
day.
not meant as nagging, just an observation.
We should move. I don't think we will solve the murder with forays into the urban hinterland, at least in this phase of the investigation.
Kim, I was following the tire tracks, and then it looked like somebody broke through here. I'm just making sure that there's no evidence here, so I'm going to have to pick everything up to make sure it's not evidence. Like that money could be evidence. Let's take that. Glory, says the graffito, to the ghosts of us. What is this? Buck 20. What's my current goals right now? Well, today's Wednesday, so my current goal is exploring this. I got to examine the bullet. And then after that, I'll reassess here. What is going on here? I feel like we're a little too close to each other. Kim, don't touch my leg like that. I got my leg between his legs. He's like right up against me. How you doing, Kimmy boy? Oh, that makes me uncomfortable. Someone's left their music collection beneath the tarpaulin. Nice. I needed this. Mullis Church in St. Sains. Was that the one I was supposed to sing? Or is a boombox to play? I could buy a boombox, but I think it was expensive. Kim, it was worthwhile coming here. There's a boat tucked away underneath the tarpaulin cover. The broken glass, dusty shelves and a forgotten chair. I go in. Ooh. Yeah. How do I look? You're sure what you're wearing, that you're wearing this tie is a statement. You're not sure what kind of statement, though. What if I walk around like this? uh... You'd have crazy high drama. Why is there just a chair? A dark red chair in the dim light of the room. This is like the kind of place that they would take people to beat them. Maybe this is where they frickin' took the guy. There's no evidence here right now. Just a single chair in a room. Seems important. Got a whole bunch of magic cards I want to open after this. But I don't want to go too late. What is this? Magic the Gathering. Sounds of Life in the North, a washboard, blah blah blah. Some Kamigawa. Alright, let's walking this way. Cinder blocks, charred. A makeshift fire pit with magazines for lighting. Your Elden Ring updates?
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
I'm still using the one sword that you get from the Hound Jail thing. I think it's really good. I like its weapon art.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time.
Oh. I also use the Cicada dagger. Because it's strength scaling. And it's really fast. Oh my god. Kim's excited for this too. Some Saint Baptiste. Preptide. White curtains have been drawn shut. No looking in. There's been quick travel? Oh. I guess the only place I had to quick travel before was the waterfront, so it was never like really an option. What does this say? Map information incompleted. Acquire a copy of the city something. Acquire a copy of the city map. But I stole one. I should probably sell these postcards. Postcard depicts a forest of smokestacks releasing fat plumes of smoke into blue, cloudless sky. The tinge of age, the color of old teeth, gives it a sickly look. Written on the back is a single sentence repeated twice. I got out. I got out. No addressee. I can interact with this. We'll do that after. Gotta loot the bullet too, but I kind of want to explore this place first. And our speed. A wedding stone, well worn and covered in rust. There's a person out here. Construction material. Whoever planned to build this house left in a hurry. Okay, I'm interacting with this through the wall. As only Harry Dubois can. What is this? Oh. I probably can't open that. I probably just need a crowbar. Bam. Our trip. We don't use these blasphemous features known as quick travel. The bushes are too thick and thorny to pass through.
A drop in temperature, an easy flow of air, an empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking on hitch steps. Just silence.
What did the smoke smell like?
Chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. An elm tree watches over the building. Its branches are dripping with rain and snow. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with a black asphalt. The asphalt, first laid, is grey already. A row of tenements are under construction in the distance.
Who are the people who live across the road?
A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. 4, 18, 21, 4, 1. A modern washing machine rattles a drawer full of silverware.
Wait. What kind of a lottery is it where you can get the same number twice? Anyways, who are the people who live across the road? No, that's what we clicked on. What about the bus stop? What is Shivers exactly? I don't know what this is.
Number 312D.
I'll have to read it.
Young girls used to come here, huddled up, hoping for more warmth than their thin coats give them. The bus took them to school. It has not run for 8 years. There were not enough girls to sustain its cost.
What about the road?
Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. The landowners have filled the craters with money. It is a vital artery of the flow of trade.
All
The
right.
wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier. A breeze moves a curl of his hair.
What is Shivers? Raises a hair on your neck. Tune into the city. I think that's like the first time that's like really come up. How you doing, kid? Halfway to a level.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone. He can't be more than 5 years old. The other one looks indistinguishable from him. He watches his brother kick the stone with his tongue lolling out of his mouth.
You guys look identical.
The stone-kicking one becomes frantic all of a sudden. As if that's something to be scared of. The obvious fact that you just stated.
He looks just like me.
Yeah. I said that.
The boy doesn't answer. His brother throws another rock. Both of their hair is covered in some kind of dirt.
You're bad with kids.
It's impossible to be good with kids. They're too stupid.
You're right there. Let's see if we can find some police work. Okay? We're not getting anything here.
Where's your mom?
The kids don't reply, absorbed in their little game.
Alright. Fine. Kids these days. Hard to see the details. The color is all warm and welcoming, or cozy though. A flower trough where nothing really grows, maybe in spring. Alright, lady. Who are you?
You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran, possibly Sigayan, also known as the apricot sujunti.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
I'll just lean forward.
Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here. And we don't want any trouble either.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
We're cops, we're hellraisers. Click, click, bang, bang. No, we don't cause trouble. We take care of trouble.
Oh, of course. Last time we saw you around here was 12 years ago. You also came to take care of trouble then. Wish you did. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen.
Wait, I've been here before, or are you just referring to police in general?
No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another, locked himself in that woodshed over there.
Points to the building behind her. This one, I'm guessing?
He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place, somewhere more quiet.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
What kind of ill omen are we talking about here?
Oh, the usual. Dark tidings. Black hound.
That's you, all right. A black hound licking your own heels.
Alright, so if I'm considered an ill omen, why hasn't anyone told me that?
Maybe they are afraid.
Why?
Because you're an ill omen. But you're still welcome here. As long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then. Because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage. And not a lot of houses. Or a lot of people. My kids are long gone. Searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us?
Oh my god, can I get a place? Yeah, where can somebody stay around here?
Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack.
I've got a free room in the shack. How much is it?
I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM.
There's this guy, Gart, who makes me give him money every night just so I don't die out in the cold.
That's exactly how we get ya. That's why we built our own cinder block houses on the seaside. So we don't have to give money to those crooks. We might not look like much, but they are ours.
Why isn't anybody using the room?
My kids grew up and left like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small side attachment. It's easier and cheaper to keep warm.
Yes, one more time. I could just have the room.
Aye. The room is pretty bare bones, but it's got a bed and roof over it. That's more than some folks have around here.
When Varson communist revolutionary Ignas Nielsen was in hiding, he stayed in a hut on the Boreal Plateau for 10 months.
Now this is real Revacholian hospitality. That Gart must be half kipped or something.
Go ahead. Call people rude things. We've heard worse here. Now, are you interested or not?
It's just Gart. He was an asshole, but I guess I was an asshole too, so. He's always rude to me. Alright, you got yourself a tenant. Even though I paid for a room already.
Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room.
What is in this fishing village?
Just us. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist.
What do you mean?
This is pretty much a non-place. A gap. A blank spot on the map. Just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street.
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny.
I don't know if I want to call it pornographically poor. Got to be something here, tell me.
Over there, you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the pox.
The pox? What is that?
An old military hospital and its surroundings. Or it used to be, during the time of the suzerain.
The old woman shakes her head slowly. She drops the rag into the bucket. It's clean now.
Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinder block houses. Shacks as far as the eye can see.
What happened to the hospital?
The goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now.
Who else lives in this village?
Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east, but they are away right now. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home, even for them.
I'm not really... wait, what drunks? Which ones?
Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. Don't have to look long to find these guys.
And is there a way to make a little money around here? I need to buy a boombox.
Here? For you? No, officer. The only money we have here is some coins the drunks tried hiding from their women and then forgot about.
Under carts, boats, in little boxes. It's not hard to find.
Alright.
She nods, rinsing another piece of cloth.
What's further down the coast?
Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even.
Why is it abandoned?
Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes?
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
I get the feeling you're leaving stuff out. What else is going on?
Well, there's that music. Music from across the sea. Huh. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting even through the night. And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that.
Interesting. You could look into this ruckus if you have the time.
Yes, I have the time. I have unlimited time here. What else is on down the coast?
Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty.
Which is it then? Apartments or electrical plant?
I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, you know. Was born in Samara.
Anything else of note?
Of note? The old fish market up on the boardwalk. But it's closed.
There's got to be more.
What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End.
That sounds interesting.
Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible.
That's all I want. I just want to scavenge. Which dragon did you fight?
And now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
Yeah, Gil's not too bad. You're using faith spells, right? They do lightning damage and stuff, which generally dragons are weak to. So who exactly are you here?
Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie. Now it's your turn, Mr.
Call me Harry.
Why, I guess I will, Harry. Aye, it just rolls off the tongue. I used to know a Harry. Strong lad, but dumb as a rock. He did too many narcotics. So many, he fell off his boat and split his skull on a buoy. Folks who saw it
I fought,
see his head cracked open like a melon. Nasty, nasty.
I fought a Gil on foot. I was like level 20, 25 or something. He killed me like 4 times before I got used to the one fire breath that he flies up into the air and breathes straight down. Killed me every time. Till I got good. Yeah, I find... Can't say into the house from this angle. I like doing the horseback combat, but I think it makes some things too easy. I run around with the seal that increases my damage, my attack rating on horseback. Because I do enough of it.
The door has seen better days. The layer of paint has started to peel off due to the salt and wind from the sea. Even the lock looks slightly rusted.
I'll wait outside to give you some time and privacy to check out your new living arrangement. But just so you know, after we are done with the day, I'll still be staying in the whirling in rags for the night. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
The key turns with a satisfying click. You can enter the shack now.
It's like a palace inside. That'd be hilarious. I do think having Torrent is a great addition to Dark Souls, Elden Ring. Just being able to run around fast. Floorboards creak. This intricate heat engine hums quietly, giving out pleasant warmth. Using a thermodynamic expander condenser cycle. Nice. Old science fiction magazines. Books about bird watching, an almanac from 39. You see the waves, the sea, a church.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with the expression.
Can't do this, even though it's a different mirror. Oh, we got the Korojev jacket. I kind of just like its appearance.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin.
Is shaving the right call here?
The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic.
Doesn't answer, is it the right call? I think we're gonna shave.
Like an artist with a brush or a master swordsman, you use the small mirror and the straight razor with some soap to remove all that unkempt hair from below the noseline. The sharp blade chafes against your skin, producing a scratching sound. The surface underneath the beard feels tender, the air brushing against it chilly.
Feel my clean-shaven
They
cheeks.
feel so smooth, surprisingly so. A feeling of freshness overcomes you, as if you just came from a cold bath.
Was shaving the right
The
call?
water reflects back a vague image of your clean-shaven face. Despite the bulbous nose, unkempt hair, and persistent swelling, you look a little younger, maybe. You almost look like a professional.
Nice. I didn't cut my throat. See what Kim thinks. Inside you hear the cozy sound of some kind of heater sputtering.
Yes?
Kim, what do you think of the new face? So, I shaved.
Yes. I don't know what to say. Perhaps.
What is it? You can tell me, Kim.
I'm not really sure about this turn of events. I think the mutton chops might have been a better idea. They sort of seem to cover up some of the...
Some of the what?
By the way, good anyhow. You were saying?
The depression that's showing on my face, this forced smile. I'm not going to tell him I found out about the pail. It feels safe and warm in here, not like outside. It actually seems like a nice cozy place. Ruffed grouse taxidermy. Is that the same one that I broke at the beginning?
Hello, mister.
Hello?
She clutches a small stuffed animal. Occasionally, she twirls it around.
Where are your parents?
My mom's outside, and I don't really know about my dad.
Okay, I know the twins outside your brothers.
Yes. They don't want to play with me. They're older and play outside. They look the same. Sometimes I can't tell them apart.
They look identical, right? I said the same thing.
They look identical.
What is that thing you're holding?
It's Lammy. He's my friend. Sort of. Like...
Lambie is a stuffed lamb that, admittedly, has seen better days. One of the eye buttons is missing, and the fur is tattered in several parts.
Oh, Lemmy looks soft.
Yes. Very soft.
I'll press my cheek up against Lammy.
Isn't he soft?
I healed my +1 morale. Alright, goodbye. I'm not telling you that I stole your thing. Industrial coal pellets burn with an orange glow. Can I get a refund from Garth? They paid for a room. We gotta look out for that cryptid too. Supposed to appear in like reeds. It's supposed to look identical to one. It exists. Don't tell me it doesn't. I don't know where I'm going. The water runs from the west. The source is upstream. A broken pipe. The rear tire of a motor carriage adorns these reeds. Rust-eaten letters, Mazout. Alright, let's, oh. That's, Nolan, Vincent. an unsuccessful model. Bars cover these long, dusty windows. Oh, it's looking in rough shape.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
Try to see inside.
Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of white salt from the sea.
Hey, Lieutenant, can you make out what's inside?
No. I won't even try. You know, I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
Can you still shoot, though?
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I pass my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
70%, I don't know.
You see, a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
Blonde man stands next to his son, pointed to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approach and smiles.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Hailostam. You must be Kim Kitsuragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
Hold on. Hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
Okay. What was that you were saying about the windows?
Oh yes, so Mikhail. They had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago. So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
Still had vector monitors. Fucking weird. Alright, so you and Kim knew each other.
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. Bell stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
Wow, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
Out here asking for change still. So what's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
I'll just look at the building looming over me.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains. They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was that ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
So what happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes, possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins. All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
This reminds me, I need to go back into the basement of where the bear fridge is and open up that one freezer that I had unplugged. I should be able to open it now and get that thing. I hope. You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel lighting up the coast.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
He means that the boys got shot by the communists. The boys were bourgeois.
Oh my god. Turn to Mikhail, he means they all got shot in the head because they were bourgeois. Now, do you know what the bourgeoisie is? No, I'm not gonna be an asshole to a little fucking 6-year-old. Tape computers, right.
Tape computers.
So what did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases, the most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars. What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
So how did those tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
Buckle up.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
What kind of a name is the Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? Who named something that? That's like when you ask the public to name your plows. You get like Gritty McGritface and stuff like that.
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center?
Thanks, reaction speed. That's what I was just talking about. You're a little slow in the uptake.
He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced?
Okay, the Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center. Paul Ockerman, Keith, and Guy Juiced. What are you talking about?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
You're making this up. Kim, is he making this up?
In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
That sounds so weird. Sounds like they're like kind of like developing a film, but like they write on it.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
You know what? The RCM should get some of those.
Even one would be very useful. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to the precious device. So they did. The failed playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
Wait, the failed playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the failed playback experience, but those are incorrect.
Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
Alright, let's talk about something else.
What else?
You look like you have somebody who has money. Do you have any
I
money?
do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not him, he can give you some.
You know what, Kim's here. I feel like can't do this. If he was going to say yes immediately, but no, I'm just testing my profiling skills here.
Of course, Detective. I wouldn't have assumed anything else. Matter of fact, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Vespertine Department of Justice has published a rather interesting paper on the criminal profiling in former socialist states. Have you read it? If
I have not.
then you definitely should. If not for tips and tricks, then just for theoretical curiosity. Anyway, that's just a little something that sprang to mind. You were saying?
Tips and tricks. What is this thing called? Rather interesting paper on the criminal profiling in former socialist states. So it's the Vespertine Department of Justice. I might be able to find it in the bookstore.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Pick your brain. If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
That's weird that he really seemed to know Kim, but then I wasn't able to like pursue how he knew Kim. Another power box. It charges nothing now. It's empty. The fence blocks the path. No way on from here. $5.25. And some Nosafed. Those are blue, so that was my crowbar doing some work. That's interactable. At some point I can go in this place. I don't even know where the door is, though. Maybe if I get around back or something. What is this? Little box. I thought it was just a hexagon. I was like, that's weird. No boat in the boathouse today. Oversized superstar sunglasses. If I need some savoir-faire, I know what to put on. The boathouse is shoddily constructed. A strong breeze might blow it over. There's a box down there. Ancient paint is peeling off the roof of this shaded bench, covered in rust. I can't remember how much the boombox was, but it can't be more than 40. I really wish I could buy the street light.
Holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Hang on, let me just leave for a sec. Visual calculus. I think I already got all my best stuff on for it. Oh, these glasses. Oh, those are my logic glasses. These are my visual calculus glasses. Make sure I got nothing that's negative. Alright, well, I guess that's the best I can do. The Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. I'm really tempted to put this in my thought cabinet because it just sounds stupid. I'm getting a -1 visual calculus from freaking communism. I'm gonna search, do some Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center.
A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other.
Look, Kim, even more bullet holes. Something's definitely gone down here.
Correct. The density of the bullet holes is unusual. Even in a general average bullet hole frequency in Martinez sense. Grim affairs. Meaning, this is a lot of bullet holes. Looks like fully automatic rifle fire. Something you don't see these days.
Why not?
The manufacturing and sale of automatic rifles was curtailed after the revolution. The destructive power of such tools proved to be too much. We do need to retain some humanity in this world.
Do some visual calculus here. Why this many bullet holes?
A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet, no sound, no movement. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. Droplets of rain fall on the wooden planks, the surrounding sand dunes. The clouds block out any rays of light.
Why is there giant heads over here?
A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains.
What is this?
The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one? The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air, the lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
How do I know that there was like a guy over here if this was like 40 years ago or whatever? So Kim, who was in this execution?
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about Veld?
What if it was the Feld personnel when their assets were being seized by the revolutionaries?
Another likely scenario.
Or maybe...
What about people from the coalition, the so-called moralists?
Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was a commandant, the superior giving the orders.
All right.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures.
It says entrée interdite. Ooh. Great things about new areas. Find all the money. The door is not only barred shut, it is inaccessible. Found Peepo Peepo. The hell is that? Oh. Oh, I see. I could not distinguish what that was from that picture. There we go. I don't know how this affects my perception. It doesn't cover my eyes or anything. In fact, it holds my hair out of my face. I got all the logic in the world right now. Yeah, you know what? I'll go around like this. My new look, Kim. An old ticket taker booth, no longer in operation. What is that? Section of the coast hasn't been used in decades. Where exactly am I? I'm like way over here somewhere. Yeah, I'm like over here somewhere. I think. I want to see the remnants of this giant egg. This looks like the guy that I'm looking for. Buoy bobs in the water. The number on it says 11. These heavy military blockades are riddled with bullet holes crumbling. The soggy smell of ignition fluid. They still won't light up. People are starting to think, waking up. What? What are you talking about? Cages are tiny cages are fully constructed. Yeah, this is the guy looking for the cryptid. Almost impossible to get a fire going this near to the ocean. Did I just get a skill point? Yeah, we leveled up.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
I'm pretty sure this is the same voice actor for the guy who does the who did the voice for the dead body.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Gary, you don't need to yell. Gary the crypto-fascist?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Morel, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
You don't seem too happy to see the RCM.
Oh no, it's all right. I'm just busy. What's this about?
Lena, your wife, sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
The 881 is a raised motorway that separates Martinez from Jamrock. The labyrinth of streets underneath it makes it difficult to pass, not like walking over a nice water lock.
The waterlock's been fixed. It was fine when I crossed it.
Oh, good. We should really be getting back. Gary could use a hot shower and a warm bed.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary! We can go soon! If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Gotcha.
Your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the Phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
Tell me about this Phasmid you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
And what makes it so difficult to find? This is the reed, the one that looks identical to a reed?
Good question. Being a Phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there? And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
What sort of specialized techniques is the Phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
A ghost insect, he said? These people are looking for a ghost.
So how big is this Phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of Phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
Okay, why are you so interested in this stick bug? Doesn't seem to be as colorful as some of the other cryptids I've heard about.
typical rookie assumption. Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian Phasmid would be the apex of my, of any, cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long,
would be glory itself.
Yes, I could get addicted to glory. So what have you discovered about it so far?
very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
I know it's real because I know it's real.
It's clear that his obsession with the Phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian Phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Yeah, exactly. The Phasmid's real. I believe in it. Yeah, so Lena has said there has been a sighting here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Alright, maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out.
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
He means asexual reproduction. The females of the species don't need to mate to produce viable eggs. This makes it easier for a species with a small population to survive.
This rouses no special feelings in me. That's pretty clever.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Alright, tell me more about these traps that you got going on here.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Lena designed the traps?
Yes.
Okay, how do they work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm. A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
Yeah, I think a carnivorous stick insect seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Then my skepticism is satiated. At least you're covering your bases and you're not just using locusts. So what will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Yes. What?
So, your wife seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Oh, Christ.
Let Lena down? Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the phasmid somehow.
Reed crab sounds like a freaking cryptid I don't want to have. I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Really? She sighted the plasmid. You didn't tell me that.
Yes, that's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine. Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course
now. Maybe you should go back to the whirling, warm up, come back to check the traps later.
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. We'd do if the phasmid were to starve, while we were sipping tea at the hostel.
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
Yes, I could go for some traps. Anyone if we check the traps for you.
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
Cryptozoology and detective work are very similar. No, I'm all in with this cryptid shit. I'm hooked.
Caught the bug, I see. It's easier to get caught up in the search than you'd imagine.
So what do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
Alright, where are the traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them... You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
And what if I encounter the phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed. It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Alright, lay it on me. Dick. He does me with the odd smelling spray, a double helping as you present your other armpit, and then gives you a satisfied nod.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting me touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious, Kim. This is going to be the end of our friendship if you keep this up.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
Alright, I'm ready. Let's get to it.
Which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital? On the hunt.
Exactly. How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
So you're living your childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play, just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
Why not just be a zoologist? Real animals are puzzling too.
Real. I know you think one is a respectable profession, while the other is superstition. Everyone does.
Honestly, being a cryptozoologist trumps most of the garbage I've seen people do.
My methods do not differ from other scientists. I simply draw upon a wider variety of evidence. And I have more hope that something truly surprising might happen.
Has anything truly surprising ever happened to you?
No, as I said, I have yet to catch a cryptid, although I have come close. Close enough to keep trying.
So what kind of evidence do you use?
Everything from forgotten regional lore to newspaper accounts, like the one that brought us here, to look for the phasmid. I keep a very open mind.
He's interested in things that people believe that scientists don't.
You think other scientists don't listen to ordinary people enough?
Most establishment scientists only care about reputation and remuneration, not real research, and certainly not the truth. They're a cowardly lot, and both the field and basement archives can be dangerous places.
So, have you ever discovered a cryptid of your own?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemney, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes. 2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have been proven to be real.
Yes, the Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Yugograd, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere.
Just quite unremarkable. That's funny.
We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
2 out of 4,000 is not even 1%. Yes, I'll just nod approvingly. Then the Insulindian phasmid will be the 3rd.
Indeed. If our
He
expedition
does not
is
smile.
successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Alright, well, thanks for explaining that. Now, about something else. Let's talk about specific cryptids.
Alright. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
Now, Kim, I agreed that I would only talk to Lena about a cryptid once. One specific cryptid. This is not Lena. This is now Morel. So that 1 doesn't apply here.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it, since you've offered to help. You need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
I know all about the kind green ape. Look, I even have a kind green ape pen.
I see you've been talking about cryptids with Lena. The kind green ape is one of her favourites.
A warm wave passes him. Of course, the kind green ape is her favorite, he thinks.
We travelled to South Safra to look for it once. Gary and I got stuck in a rainstorm, though, and had to spend most of our time there in a little village. The search was fabulously unsuccessful, but the people were very nice. I'm glad they didn't understand what Gary was saying about them.
What? South Safra? They're just on a different rung of the ladder, Morale. I had no problem with them.
Really? You kept complaining about how dirty everything is, but we digress.
They're a nascent culture. I just didn't feel comfortable. And let's change the topic, okay? Talk about your critters, or whatever.
Which cryptid did you almost catch? You said before that you almost caught one.
A willow person. It's a long story. One non-specialists would find rather dull.
Willow people? Not at all.
What are willow people?
They're not people, really. Some argue they aren't really animals, as they seem to have evolved directly from trees.
Interesting.
They're very, very thin, almost flat in fact, and can camouflage themselves easily, wrapping themselves around trees and blending in with the tree bark. In that way, they're not too dissimilar from the phasmid we're looking for here.
Wait, so I may have seen these willow people without knowing it.
You probably have.
How did you almost catch this willow person?
Gary and I painted an entire grove's worth of trees in slow-drying paint. It was a bright lavender colour. I was hoping one of the willow people would get paint on it and not be able to camouflage itself. After waiting in hiding for hours, I saw a figure slip from one of the trees, a lavender shadow, dashing through the grove.
And then?
I chased it with a net. Not very elegant. You can't be elegant in the field. And, well, it was faster than me.
A lavender shadow.
I know you think we were snacking on funny mushrooms. It's easier to mock someone and to admit that the world might be more interesting than you've imagined. Furthermore, I'm not saying it was a confirmed sighting. I'm painfully aware of what goes into verifying such things. There is a serious possibility that I saw a squirrel or a trick of the light. I am my own harshest critic.
He makes it a real point here to sound falsifiable.
And Lena's setting at the phasmid is that...
Confirmed. It's 100% verified and meets all the standards of an authentic cryptid sighting.
Okay, well just... I mean, just tell me about a cool cryptid. Any cryptid, just a cool one.
No offense, officer, but I'm not much of a pedagogue. I don't know what I would have done if Lena hadn't persuaded me to go back to field research. You should ask her if you want interesting stories.
I want to, but freaking Kim wouldn't let me.
I'm not a people person, unless you haven't noticed. And I don't make a good
It's a different day,
lecturer.
though.
My strength lies in field work and persistence.
Alright, enough tales then. Let's change the subject. Actually, you should go. You sound like you're in rough shape.
Humpty Dumpty Dum Center. You're at home, stupid cop. Not with the art crowd. You hate them. Everyone hates them. Even they hate themselves. It's nauseating. An industry built on sprezzatura and sparkling wine. And, let's be honest, tax evasion schemes. The Humpty Dumpty Dum Center is the heart of this unholy symbiosis of aesthetics and tax optimization. And now that you've internalized it, you can have a piece too.
Sounds pretty capitalist. think I need to forget this one. I mean, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. But I become a pretentious wanker. Oh, that's funny. I just feel like it doesn't fit with my character, though. As much as useful as that is for my encyclopedia focus, as you say, it's very capitalist, and I am communist. So unfortunately, Wompty Dumpty Dom Center must go. Goodbye, Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. Thought will be lost forever. Yes. Alright, let's get, since I got a slot now. No, not this one. Maybe I'll just get volumetric shit compressor. If this was a, if I was doing a different playthrough, I would definitely keep that one. If I was doing my, just being an asshole playthrough, I would definitely keep Pretentious Wanker. There's so many more topics that I have not seen. Maybe we'll just leave that open for now. We're going to inspect the traps. Talk to this guy real quick.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer. Yellow man. I mean, officer.
So he is extremely racist.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors, are we?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Degenerates, this man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage, pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue. I am neither of those things. I can assure you, I am a by-the-books, clean as a whistle officer of the law. I'm not even tempted to touch intoxicants.
I've been tempted on occasion, but someone has to stay strong for Revocol.
As I say that, Kim raises his eyebrows further.
He pronounces Revocol with a hard K, unlike other people.
Did you say Revocol?
I like to pronounce it the hard way, the old way, the Vespertine way.
The stupid way? He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps. It's odd. It's a secret rite, a very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
Are you a cryptozoologist too? No, you're something else. You're a crypto-fascist.
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way. But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an opinion on cryptids. This could lead to a good one.
I'm into cryptids. Do you have a favorite cryptid?
Oh, yes, the burning rhino. Morel doubts he's real, but I don't much care, because I won't be the one looking for him out in Safra Serai.
What's a burning rhino?
A rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. Well, at least the males do.
That seems like it would be something that would be very easy to verify whether it exists or not. How do they burn?
They have special ducts just above their shoulder blades that secrete a combustible fluid. When the rhino is just beginning to light itself, it looks as though it has wings of fire.
But how is this combustible fluid lit?
How does the lighting of this fluid actually work?
The rhino starts running very fast to build heat, then stops, raises its head, and sparks fly from its neck, setting its back ablaze.
This one actually sounds really stupid. I can't lie. That one seems unlikely.
Yeah, well, Revacol used to be a flaming rhino once, a long time ago. That seems unlikely too, doesn't it?
Super solid argument, Gary. Can't argue with that.
Why only the males?
The flames are not just for decoration. They are an integral part of the beast's mating behavior.
How so?
During the burning rhino's mating season, herds of male rhinos, all aflame, encircle herds of female rhinos, forming a fiery ring as they begin to copulate loudly. Local peasants call it the passion ring. They fear the rhinos, as perhaps they should. Anyway.
The lieutenant sighs without looking up from his notes. It's clear the burning rhino is dear to him on many levels, some even spiritual.
So do you know anything about the man hanged behind the whirling in rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
So you were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly.
The lieutenant is a native of Revachol.
Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject, okay?
Alright, well. Thank you for your cooperation. So there's supposed to be one like, wait, yeah, down here. It looks empty.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring.
Look around.
Behind you, the ruins of a residential building loom over the reeds. They whisper amongst themselves, confidentially. Snowflakes cling to their shivering stems.
Reach for the trap.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap. confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
It'll be the next one, surely.
Surely. Anyway, the air is nice and fresh here.
I think it'd be hilarious if they coded this quest so that the more positively you react to the cryptids, it makes it so that one doesn't exist, but the more negatively, like, you think they're fake, one actually exists. So you're never right. I'll check that one last. He just set that one up. I'm gonna have to stop here real soon. And there's quick travel for the church. Someone must have worked hard to smash the plastic dome.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change.
Does it work?
You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable.
Did I dial this number before? Oh well, let's try it.
Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this?
Yes.
End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre, is that you, Pierre?
This voice is female and sounds about 100 years old. Yes, it's me, Pierre.
So nice of you to find the time to call me. It gets so lonely. Even the animals have died.
That's not good.
Are you sure you're Pierre? Your voice, it's different. There. Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum?
Her
What?
voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not.
Try another one.
Calling.
We're just doing prank calls here.
Still calling. Someone with a masculine voice picks up.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hey,
Hello,
Gerard.
Technically speaking, you're electricity. No, what you are is a surprise. Get his wife on the phone.
Gerard, what a douche name. Change it, change your name. Hey, Gerard, get your wife for me, will you?
Who is this?
It's Pierre. It's Pierre.
Who the fuck do you think you are talking to me like that?
I'm the guy who's fucking your wife, Gerard. Guillaume. Guillaume le Million. He's fucking... Who do you think I am?
Why don't you grow up? Oh, and Disco is dead.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone.
Alright, we had our fun there. Give. Poor Disco. We might do some prank calls later. A makeshift roof, vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. That tarp will keep out neither rain nor snow nor wind. Oops. What else we got going on over here?
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad.
Take a closer look.
It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
It might be a clue.
You think our suspect is a seagull who's been defecating on unsuspecting jackets?
Could have been multiple seagulls.
The poet could write a dozen verses and still not begin to capture the profound vexation in that sigh. You should still take it.
Yeah, we're taking it. Could be a piece of evidence. It could have been something that the dude was wearing. Postcard. I'm gonna take it to the lady. This is the washing. When operated weighing machine. Hasn't been used for a decade. Ooh, some encyclopedia. Mega Bino prescription lenses. Vagrants have recently painted the tarp red. Water drips from it. And some bottles. So I can inspect this one though. Coat. I will inspect this.
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound.
How did this jacket get so disgusting?
It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it?
Yeah. At this point, I came over the thought of a dead body, the stench of a dead body. I can do this.
It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it.
Gross.
Why? Why did you think about it? Look at your hands. They're covered in muck.
Ew.
Now you're just flicking that shit everywhere. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out.
That's funny. Big wine canister. It's open and empty.
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
Is that a dead guy? Hold on, what is that? Hold on, that is awful.
It doesn't help. You can still smell it.
What is it?
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. It is death. It must be.
Heads up, Lieutenant, something's not right here.
The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose.
I also have a handkerchief, but I can't do anything with it. Put that to your nose. Oh, that little bubble went away. Give me that bubble back. Oh, hang on. Moonshine probably smells like tasty fermentation. There it is. Careful there, these floorboards look rotten and weak. This man's life looks rotten and weak.
Cigarette package and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin.
Examine the tear.
2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find.
A tragedy.
He shakes his head with genuine sadness.
Examine the cigarette package.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content.
And the kebab.
You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol. It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet.
A day or two.
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper.
Hold on.
The same chewing gum wrapper that I have? The lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. Two bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life.
Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
Another dead body. This is your job. Steel yourself. Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe.
This is what I need. Another murder case to go with my already unsolved murder case. Alright, let's study his clothes.
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest. A cool leather jacket with a bolt of blue? Oh no, this sounds terribly familiar. You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into two. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
That is the man himself.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. You have to be quite inebriated to fall that bad. Well over a liter of pure ethanol. 3 bottles of wine, or 1.5 of spirits. Or maybe it was just dark. When damp, these boards are really slippery. Even a sober man could lose their balance here. His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his moustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years.
This is that lady's husband.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here.
Examine his head.
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
It's hard to say.
Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
Examine the bottle further.
0.75 liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside. It's mid-market spirits with a slight touch of menthol. The man meant to enjoy himself, have a good time.
Tear all around us.
Looks at 2 other bottles near the coin-operated viewer. Then it's your yellow plastic bag.
Prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper.
God damn it, Kim. Why are you calling me out like this? Examine the chewing gum wrapper.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall.
Let's look in his mouth.
The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too?
He ate the whole pack. right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario, even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
I probably shouldn't step on the floorboards, but let's just test them. Let's test their
They
flimsiness.
screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him.
Okay.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Well, I know who he is, but we'll get Kim to verify just in case I need to do that.
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here. But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
A dead working-class man with a bottle in his hand? Don't deceive yourself. You know who this is.
Yes, we know who this is. It's the working class woman's husband, dead on the boardwalk.
The woman you met at the book stand? Why do you think it's her husband?
Because it's the most working-class death you've ever seen.
The leather jacket. It matches her description perfectly.
The bright blue lining? Well, he's definitely someone's husband.
So what do you think happened here?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
What about the kebab?
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the parks.
Why is he eating a kebab and gum at the same time?
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
Could it be related to the lynching?
No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case.
Agreed. If this somehow converges later, why not? But keep it simple for now.
Okay. And he was most likely drunk, right?
Oh, yes.
What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure?
Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
Someone should help be responsible for this broken boardwalk. It's dangerous.
They'll seal this place off after the news reaches the coalition officials. I doubt that they have enough resources to actually repair the boardwalk. Not that sealing it off would keep anyone away. All it does is keep the city council's hands clean.
Right.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure, although there's still a question of identifying the body.
No, we already did that. What should we do with him?
From where I stand, I can see two options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
What about field autopsy?
Field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me. I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work.
Yes, but isn't that kind of sloppy?
Maybe, but we don't really have much time or resources to spare. The guys at processing will take care of the rest.
Well, we found him. We should finish this.
Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from Mike and Emma. Let them know we are taking the case.
Coin-operated viewer has been out of order for years. Stop messing with the coin viewer and hold on to something. The wind is so strong. So, Kim mentioned the bottles here. There's no bottles. Can't touch any bottles. There's that one. There's just the one. that I can't take. Alright, so we know who this is, but before we go tell her that we found her husband, we'll try and confirm it. Now, one thing before I stop, I want to go talk to the wash lady. See if she can wash his coat.
The policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I found this jacket, but it's filthy. Could you wash it for me?
I can wash it for you, but it's going to take about a half an hour. Think you can stay put for that long?
I could use a breather before another rainy day begins.
Alright, I'll wait.
Well, hand it over then, and I'll see what I can do. Must say, I'm proud of this one. It's pretty nice underneath all that filth. I hope you'll have an easier life in your hands.
Alright. I carry around a wardrobe with me. Oh. Fallen windbreaker. I'm just like sport and I'm just a fallen man. I don't like this jacket though. Back up to 4 skill points. Alright, so dead body on the boardwalk. Call the station. Examine the library card. Well, I guess I'll examine the library card right now.
The library card is folded into 2 and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53. Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his family member.
Look inside.
Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinton Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned.
Theobald? Would be Thibault.
Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too.
Alright.
If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours 900 to 1800.
We can call that number.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Mejean.
Okay. We can do that next time. We're still going to inspect the traps and we got a lot to do. It's going to be a busy day. But that's going to be it for me today. And I won't be back tomorrow because I'll be having dinner with my dad, so it'll be Wednesday that we continue this journey. So until then, thank you all for watching. Have a good night. See you next time.